Welcome back for episode number 9 of the Red Revival. Today we've got the game against Hamilton at Hampden in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup, and we'll also see what other game we're going to play as well, depending on what the league situation is. But first of all, we've got a couple of games just to get you caught up on, so we'll get that started. And up first, it was a home game against Dundee United. We took the lead with a penalty from Helt Nielsen, and in the 37th minute, Momo Mbai turned in a corner to make it 2-0. And in the 60th minute, Helt Nielsen was at the back post to make it 3-0, and that's how it finished. And next up was Hibs at Easter Road, and we had a terrible pass back there. Hibs ran through and took the lead in the 9th minute of the game to go 1-0 up. We managed to hit back on the 15th minute when Fraser crossed in for it to be turned home by Hibs' own player, Cedric Avenel. Then in the 17th minute, Clarkson latched onto a rebound to make it 2-1. The 72nd minute, Fraser played it to Clarkson to get his second goal of the game to make it 3-1. And in the 93rd minute, to add some gloss to the tie, Duke turned it home. And the final score was 4-1. Now, something I didn't anticipate from that game was that we might actually qualify for the Champions League. Unfortunately, we did do that, so that was done off camera, which I didn't want. But if we have a look at the table, so in a little minute I'll show you kind of what's happened to cause that and why I didn't think it would happen. If you look at the fixtures, we can see Rangers were at home to St Johnstone and could only finish 1-1. I fully expected Rangers to win that game, which is why I felt like it was worthwhile playing the Hibs game off camera, unfortunately. So we have missed that side of it, but we do get to see what our budgets are going to be for next season, which I don't expect will be high, and they're not. 140 grand per week for the wages and £442,000 for the transfer budget. Looking in the finances, we're not spending that much less. In fact, we're already spending at 127,000, so we're only 15,000 off it, and we don't have much in the way of a transfer budget, so we need to see if we can get that increased going into the season, because that's not a good budget for the Champions League. We're all caught up with everything. We'll get on to the Hamilton semi-final. What we just want to highlight just now is I didn't expect it to happen, but we have actually qualified now for the Champions League. I think we mentioned that sort of previously there as well. So that's where we are on the table. We're 6 points clear at the current time. So we can't win it within the next game, but sort of thinking with the fixtures after this, the split fixtures have been announced. We've got 3 home games and then 2 away games. So realistically, if Celtic win all of their games, we're looking at the Hearts game if we win all of ours. What I'll probably do is come back maybe for the Kilmarnock game after this one, see kind of where we're at, and then decide whether we need to do the Hearts-Celtic game as the last. Hearts and Celtic games really as the last games of the season to see if we can wrap up the title. What we'll probably do kind of going forward with other seasons, I'm mindful that probably within the next 6 weeks the beta will probably drop for Football Manager 25, in which case we'll probably look to start doing some content for that instead, is that we'll trim down the videos. I probably won't show as many highlights of games and so on, and what I'll probably just do is give you like a breakdown of how we've performed in each game in between episodes, and we'll try and trim it down to between 6 and 8 episodes I think per season. Possibly bring out some content in the weekends as well, just to kind of push things forward a little bit so we don't miss anything. But coming on from here, we will get cracking on with the Hamilton game, and I'm going to make some changes today just because I do tend to make changes for the cup games. I know it's a semi-final, so it is quite important, but we need to take into consideration as well Hamilton are in a lower division to us, so realistically this shouldn't be a difficult game to kind of manage and come away with the winning. So we'll play Shinnie. I don't want Nielsen out in the final if it comes to it. And Silva, I'm going to play McGrath today. Play Keskin. We'll bring in Zichnike. I'm not too bothered if he misses the final. As I said, his form hasn't been, kind of right up there or anything this season. So then we'll bring in Sockler. He's going to be unfit, but it's okay. I'm sure he'll manage this game. And I need to put another goalkeeper on the bench here as well. So we'll bring Rico into the bench, and we'll take out Probably one of the centre backs. We'll take Danny Wilson out for this game. So starting lineup is Mitov in goals, Fredericks at right back, Svoboda partner and Bai at centre back, Wilson Edbrand at left back, Shinnie in defensive midfield, Silva in the right wing, McGrath in centre mid, Zeknini in left wing, and Guy and Sockler up front. So we'll get the team submitted, get cracking on with the game. So as we've seen before, we are in good form, so we'll just keep that tradition of we're doing well, let's keep things up. And the usual pump the fist, ask them to make us proud. You can see with the lineups, we've had that loss against Rangers in there, unfortunately. And Hamilton haven't lost in their last 5, but have been picking up a lot of draws, so I think we should be okay today, really. I'd be very disappointed if we didn't come out with a win from this game. So looking at the kick-off highlight, see if we can do anything early on here. It's played through to Sockler, who's put it home. I need to see if this is going to be offside or not. And it's awarded, so a flying start for us at Hampden. 30 seconds in, 1-0 up. Another kick-off highlight here for Hamilton. See if they can respond immediately. Certainly him with a chance here. Mitov pulls off a good save. So good response here from Hamilton, in fairness to them. Could have very easily folded straight after that goal. Corner swung in and it's put out for another one. So Hamilton swing it in again and it's cleared this time by Guy. It's recycled by Hamilton, who scored an absolute screamer from Scott Martin. So very, very interesting start to the semi-final. That was an absolute cracker of a goal. Fair play to Hamilton with that one. 10 minutes in, we've still only had that shot we had in the 30th second, so let's see if we can try and get a little bit of improvement here. Get a free kick in the 18th minute. McGrath's lining it up. And he scores a nice, wonderful free kick of his own here. Yeah, a couple of good goals already in this game. See if we can kick on from here and not concede quite as quickly as we did the last time. Yep, 2-1. I think we'll hopefully be able to keep it comfortable from here. Really not performing. I think towards the end of the season, if the players just seem to have down tools a little bit. They're nowhere near as prolific as they have been throughout the season. There's Mbai just nearly squeezing it in there at the back post, and Edbrand's pulled a good save off from the keeper. We've got another corner here. Shinnie's going to swing it in, and it's put over by Svoboda. Yeah, I think the side's not performing quite as well as they have been all season. I maybe put it down to bringing in some extra players when the side was in good form, and also as well might just be the pressure really of kind of competing for the league at this stage, but for a side that's really not used to doing so. So I think we can do better here. Told the players that. We get back underway. It was interesting that Hamilton's had more possession than us in this game. That's very surprising to me. I thought we would have been kind of bossing things, but we've started off the second half quite positively. We are into the 60th minute without any further highlights at this stage, so we're probably looking to make a change probably after this highlight. See what we need to do. Maybe bring on Duke. Kind of wanted to keep Duke and Cole for the league games just to try and make sure we have our best players available for the run-in. We've got the ball now at the back. We're just kind of playing it around a little bit here, trying to find some space. And there's some space out wide for Silva. Finds Shinnie and Zeknini. It's a good shot, but just goes wide of the post, so I think we're going to need to make a few changes just now because this isn't really happening for us. Sockler's probably been our best player, but he's struggling a little bit with his fitness, so we'll get Duke on for him.
Signini's on a booking and also not playing very well as per usual, so Keskin can come on. McGrath's having a good game, I'm going to leave him on despite the booking. And I think we're going to bring Wilson Esbrand off for Brandon Williams for now. So 3 changes. I think we've improved the positions that we've taken players off for. See if we can try and see things out or even add to our lead here. We're getting up to the 80th minute. It's been quite an uneventful second half compared to the first half. So we'll get Shinnie off for Nielsen. Hopefully he doesn't pick up a booking. We need to take that risk, unfortunately now. Guy's not playing too well, but I don't really have any option for him on the bench here. Unless what we do is we put Silva up front, bring Ryan Fraser on for the right wing. Fraser's actually done really well for us since coming back in. He's arguably now our first choice right winger. I think he's been performing better than Gustavo Silva has in that wing, so I'm happy with his contribution. So looks like we're just going to scrape over the line here into injury time. We do have a highlight in the 95th minute. Hopefully not us losing our concentration like we quite often do at the start and at the end of games. It's played through for Fraser, whose deflected shot puts his 3-1 up, so that'll wrap us up. Stephen Hendry own goal, it goes down as. That should wrap things up for us here. And we're into the final. Again, looking at that, probably did deserve it at the end of the day. That absolute worldie from Martin brought Hamilton level earlier on, but we did probably have, the better of the game. Surprised that it wasn't a bigger scoreline, to be honest, than what we've seen from some of the other games this season. So congratulate the side on reaching the final, and we'll continue on. Just now, and kind of get an idea where we think we're best to come back here. So I think we'll play the St Mirren game off camera. I think what we'll do is I'll come back for the Kilmarnock game if we have a chance to win the league. If not, we'll come back for the Rangers game at home. And if it comes down to it, what we might need to do is have the last episode of the season being Celtic and the Scottish Cup final. So leave it with me just now. We'll see where we need to come back for. It's either going to be Kilmarnock or Rangers. And yeah, we'll play the rest of the games off camera for now.
So there's confirmation through of our cup final opponents. After beating Hamilton there, we are up against Celtic in the final. So that'll pretty much give us a double header at the end of the season. So last game of the season in the league is away to Celtic, and then we play Celtic in the final. And just to highlight that again as well, here we go. So we'll get cracking on with the next few games and come back shortly. Just before we went on to the St Mirren game, we made a cracking signing, snapping up Sadio Mane on a free transfer. He's been roaming around the free transfer market for quite some time after Al Nassr let him go, and he's now decided that he's sick of not playing for anybody and he's happy to accept quite a small contract from us, really, just under £10,000 per week. We've probably just been helped by the fact that our budgets just went up ever so slightly ever since qualifying for the Champions League. But a quick look then at the stats for Sadio Mane, I couldn't really not take him. I know he's 33, but he can play left wing, right wing. He's just as good as anyone else we've got, in fact probably better. He's still got pretty good physical stats. I do expect that he will decline a little bit, but the natural fitness of 16 can help. Mentally he's very strong, and technically we know he's a good player as well. Again, as we said, quite a low contract for us, so I think he's a good signing. He's only here until the end of next season, but even if we sell him on, I expect we'll get a couple of million for him at least, so quite happy with this signing. Hopefully he can push us forward a little bit more.
First team up after the Mane signing was St Mirren, and we took an early lead and Guy scored in the 11th minute. Mane is making his debut. Nielsen converted a penalty then in the 17th minute. Devlin played it down the right, and Duke then slotted home in the 20th minute to make it 3-0. In the 31st minute, Esbrand swung it in for Guy to make it 4-0. Come into the second half, St Mirren had a corner, managed to convert it to bring it back to 4-1. And in the 68th minute, they scored a really nice goal there as well to make it 4-2. And that's how the game ended. We then came up against Kilmarnock at home, and we got off to a flyer with Jamie McGrath, put us 1-0 up in the 37th minute. And into the second half in the 68th minute, McGrath then doubled our lead with his second of the game. The game ended 2-0. We then welcomed Rangers to Pittodrie, and in the 35th minute we got ourselves off to a flyer with Sadio Mane opening the scoring to come up 1-0. Duke then stole the ball about a minute or so later to make it 2-0. Then in the 38th minute, Palaversa plays it through for Duke, and Duke makes it 3-0. Into the second half, plays through for Duke again to get his hat trick to make it 4-0. And then a couple of minutes later, Duke broke down the left, played it in, and Clarkson made it 5. Mane then made it 6 in the 65th minute. Esbrand then played it through to Duke, who squared it for Guy, who made it 7 in the 87th minute. And then in the 88th minute, Rangers came through with Diomande to get a consolation goal, and it finished 7-1. The reason why I didn't sort of show that game is that Celtic won earlier in the day, and it basically meant that we couldn't win the league on this game. One bad bit of news from it: Helt Nielsen's picked up a knock and will be out for the rest of the season pretty much. One interesting thing I did see off the back of it, Advocat was spotted at Pittodrie Stadium. He's the Scotland manager. Did not know that until pretty much after this game, so that's an interesting one. But yeah, Celtic have been continuing to win all of their games, so there's a 6-point gap now. We've got Hearts away next, so that's a game we're going to come back for because we can potentially win the league. So we'll be back for the Hearts game. So now we're back for the Hearts game to be played at Tynecastle. So we can see here Celtic are at home to St Mirren today. Worrying thing for us is that we've played 3 home games since the split. Celtic have played 3 away games. Both sides have won 3. But our last 2 games are now away to Hearts and away to Celtic. So hopefully we don't have a collapse here. And we'll see if we can try and wrap up the title. All we need is 1 point today. So just need to avoid losing here against Hearts. So we'll get into the team selection. And I think we're going to keep Devlin in and Segovia in, and Wilson as well. I'm going to play Williams today for Esbrand, and Helt Nielsen did pick up a knock in the last game. I think he'll play Palaversa. He came on for him and played pretty well. Fraser, I think, will start. Main reason being is that Silva's picked up a slight knock coming into this game, so we'll keep Fraser in, keep in Clarkson. Mane had a really good game last time out, so yeah, unchanged other than that. So Rico in goals, Devlin right back, Segovia partner and Wilson at centre back, Williams at left back, Palaversa defensive midfield, Clarkson in the centre of midfield, Fraser on the right, Mane in the left, and Guy partners Duke up front. So we'll get the team submitted. Oh, Helt Nielsen is injured. Forgot to take him out there. So we shall take Zeknini onto the bench. I feel a little bit sorry for Zeknini ever since Mane's came in to the squad. He's not really had a look in at this stage. Into the dressing room. Again, we'll use our tried and trusted. We're doing well. Let's keep it going. And tell the boys we've got faith in them to make us proud today, so we can become the first side since Aberdeen to win the trophy. So 4-2-3-1 for Hearts. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games, so they don't come into this in particularly good form. We've won our last 5, playing our usual 4-4-2. Get the game kicked off. So an early corner here for Hearts. Play it in. Palaversa's trying to clear it. And it's a bit of a disaster for us. In the 4th minute of the game we go 1-0 down. And it's a common theme, I think, that we do tend to lose goals quite early on before we really start to get going in games. Maybe that's the problem with my team talks. I keep doing the same thing. Maybe need to freshen it up a little bit. But we've had 1 shot on target which generated 0.00 XG. We're starting to kick on a little bit now. I think we've got our best 11 on the pitch here today, so I'd be expecting something good from the side. We've not had a single highlight as of yet. I can see Celtic have taken the lead against St Mirren. Duke might have picked up a wee knock here as well. So at the 32nd minute, there's a highlight, see if we can get anything out of it. Got Manny down the left here. And he's played it in and Duke's offside anyway. You'd expect someone like Manny to absolutely rip apart the SPL, wouldn't you? And we've got Fraser taking the corner. Just came back out. But he's nicked the ball back off them. Now Palaversa. And he's only just put it over the bar by the looks of it. It's match momentum. We've had better momentum than Hearts today. It looks like the side might just be bottling it a little bit though. Celtic still just have that 1-goal lead against St Mirren. Yeah, this is not good enough. So I can tell them we need a better display in the second half. I'm going to pump fists and say they've got the ability to make the difference and to go and do it. And Duke's having a particularly quiet game here today. See if we can get anything early on in the second half just to bring things back. Yeah, the really strikers look to be struggling a little bit. Might need to get Sockler on shortly, maybe Nesbitt as well. We've got a highlight here with Hearts coming forward. Need to try and nick the ball off them here, I think. And it's played through quite harmlessly to Rico. Plays it out short. And we've got Clarkson coming forward with it. Passing it back is not really what we need. We need a little bit more urgency, I think, from the players, but they are just being a little bit patient. Fraser, he plays it in and Duke taps it in at the near post. Looking for an offside, but I'd be quite doubtful unless it's Fraser that was offside. The cross coming in, it's unusual for the offside, and we've got our goal back. So we're back level, and as things stand, currently on course to win the title. Celtic still with a 1-goal lead at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes here. I think we'll actually take off both strikers possibly. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring Silva on up front. Not a position I normally play him in, but Duke's struggling for fitness and guy's not playing well at all. Segovia's not having a great game, so we'll bring Momo and Mbai on. And I think we'll bring off Williams with that booking. Wilson Esbrand on. So all we need to do now is hold on. Pretty much deserve to win this game, so we don't deserve to kind of throw away the league. At this stage, Celtic have taken a 2-goal lead. And this might be a penalty to Hearts. This isn't going well at all today. And it's been awarded, so we need some heroics here from Sergio Rico. Shanklin to take it. And he scored it. Scored against his former club. To put Hearts up 2-1. I think we need to make another change here. I don't really want to take Fraser off because he's playing well. Manny's playing pretty well too. I think we'll bring off Palaversa. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring McGrath on, and I'm actually going to make a change to the tactic. I'm going to bring McGrath up to here, and I'm going to let him actually play as a Mazzala. See if we can get any luck out of that. Yeah, we'll crack on then just now. I think we need to give the guys a shout. Oh, we'll wait off just now and see what happens with this highlight. It's been played into the back post for Fraser to score. We'll need to see if VAR is going to allow it. And it's been disallowed. I could really be doing with a goal here. I don't really want to have to go to Celtic Park needing to avoid defeat. Especially after we've seen that game against Rangers, we really struggled. Hearts come forward, they could really put a nail in our coffin here. Boateng, it's came off the crossbar. We're starting to get a bit desperate, so I think we're going to need to go attacking. Hearts temporarily down to 10 men. Della Val's off the pitch. Kingsley now just wasting a little bit of time in the corner. Hearts just playing it around the back. We really need these guys to step it up a little bit. Danny Wilson to McGrath into the 92nd minute now. McGrath's lost possession there, but he's gained it back. Nice out to Devlin. Come on, Devlin, swing one in. He swung it in, but it's been blocked. Corner with Esbrand to take it. And Wilson's just headed it wide, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to do it here today. That's a bit of a joke. We've lost 2-1 to Hearts. We had an XG of 2.97 to their 1.26, even though they had a penalty. 5 clear-cut chances we had today and we couldn't convert them. That's pretty poor from the side. Possession-wise, we dominated the game as well. Maybe committed one too many fouls, but that team should have been good enough to win today, and I'm very, very disappointed in that result. I'm going to thrash arms. I'm going to say that the performance was actually shameful, considering we could have won the league. And we'll continue on. So what that means for the league table is we're currently 3 points clear of Celtic. We've got Celtic to play now at Parkhead in the final game of the season. Probably a little bit, don't need to be too disappointed, I imagine, really, because we're looking at this now. The goal difference is very much in our favour here, so we probably won't have too many problems wrapping up the league. It just would have been nice to have done that. So final video then of the series will be Celtic away from home, and then Celtic again as well in the Scottish Cup final. So we've got a double header against Celtic coming up next to wrap up the season. Again, thanks very much to anyone who's taken the time out of their day to watch the videos. And again, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And if you're happy to do so, please like, comment and share the video. Thanks again.